So this situation is a little bit different what I'm going to speak on. I'm talking about working in an environment with a bunch of women and being ganged up on. However, sometimes when people are watching the show and you'll be ganged up on, they actually feel like you're not being ganged up on because you have a strong exterior. You know what I mean? Like your exterior is strong, so they feel like, well, or they feel like you can handle it. You good. You can take it.
Yeah.
I
mean, I feel like I'm always the target. So I definitely, I feel like when I walk into those group settings, I'm like, you know, even when I think it's cool, I'm like, oh shit, okay, there's a bullseye on my back, you know, and I'm not confrontational, and I think that it is encouraging to people that are argumentative, and I'm just not that. But it's not a good feeling when you're always the target. Nobody wants to walk into a room and you have to constantly look over your shoulder. You don't know who's going to throw a drink at you, who's going to try and hit you.
Now, see, that's what they're not going to do. Now, that's what they're not going to do. It's
just not a good feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't grow up being a fighter. I wasn't raised in that type of environment. That's not how I necessarily handle a situation that we don't agree on. I'm not trying to throw blows at anybody just because you might have said something about me or I don't agree with your opinion.
Let me tell you this about me.
It's ridiculous.
I wasn't raised with my mom. You had the pleasure of being raised by your mother. My aunt raised me. I've never used that as a cop-out. People don't hear me really just go around talking about I was raised by my aunt because I had a relationship with my mother. And so I was one of those kids that went from Georgia to New York every single year. So every year when school was out, I went straight to New York City, which is where my mom lived in Queens. And then I had to pack all of my things and come right back to Georgia for school. So basically I went to school in Georgia and I spent all my summers in New York.
You're a New Yorker.
Well, you know I am, honey. I'm an old New Yorker / Georgia peach, you know, and was like that. We rode Greyhound. Today these kids get to fly on the airline, but I actually rode the Greyhound bus. When school was over, we pack up, get on the Greyhound bus and go straight to New York City. And I was born in Queens, New York City. I have talked about that several times at Jamaica Queens Hospital. And my mom is from Georgia originally.
Okay.
From Georgia, so her family's from Georgia. But when my mom got 18, her and like a few of her brothers and sisters, they all moved to New York. A couple of them lived in Brooklyn, the other ones lived in Queens. And so I knew Jamaica Avenue, and my mom lived in 229th and Linden, and I was there as a kid, you know, running up and down those streets, and then back in Georgia, running up and down these streets. But sometimes, you know, the way you grow up, people use it as a cop-out. And I work with someone that does that quite often. So I don't usually get that sympathy card. They do. I don't get that sympathy card that she has mom issues. She wasn't raised by her mom. Well, to go a step farther, I wasn't raised by my mom or my father. So I was raised by my aunt. My aunt raised me. And she's my mom's oldest sister.
Okay.
And so,
I met her.
yeah, you have.
Yeah.
And we've had a great relationship.
Dress shopping with her.
Yes. Yeah. Me and my aunt has had a great relationship. Talked to her last night. She's 92 years old. In fact, at 92, she's never seen anything like quarantine. She's never seen anything like this. She doesn't even know like what's happening to the world. But she said,
well,
like,
she has to stay in so she can be safe.
Yeah, at 92 years old, she's like, this is crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like this in all my 92 years of living.
Right.
So this has never happened before. Yeah, this ain't never happened before.
Right.
Like, we're experiencing something that's insane.
No, it's crazy.
So, fast forward, at all season long, I have, not just all season, for several seasons, I have been the target. But this reunion right here, honestly, I felt was the most, I thought last year was unfair. I'm going to tell you why I thought last year was unfair. My husband having cancer, it's nothing I can control. As a caregiver, I don't know all the proper steps to be a caregiver. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing the best
honestly,
I can.
That's tough. You know, when I had to watch my mom suffer from cancer, and I wasn't a caregiver because she was in the hospice, but you know, just being there and trying to figure out, okay, what can I do to, you know, help this, or you know, like make her feel better. It's like, you know, I don't know what she's experiencing. You know, and to actually have to watch someone suffer and
Was
know
she
that
ever
you can't do
mean
anything.
at any point, like, or just short, or patience was short, or or maybe felt grouchy?
She wasn't really talking a lot, you know. She would be more so making like facial expressions. I think she just was like really weak towards the end.
Facial expressions as in like, I like that, I don't like that. Or, like that. Yeah.
But I have heard that, you know, when people are going through something like that, obviously you're not the same person.
No, you're not.
You know, so you're going to have those moments. Listen, I have a bad day. I'm a complete bitch.
Yeah.
So I can imagine going through something as cancer where you don't know if you're going to live. How do you, like, what do you expect a person to be like?
Oh, I know. Gregg had different medications. So taking different medications were having him having mood swings and that kind of stuff like that. So I was saying that to say that I didn't know the best way to be a caregiver. I had never experienced that with anybody that close to me having cancer.
That's a hard task.
And I think that when you hear somebody say to you, oh, my aunt passed because she had cancer, it doesn't really hit you that hard until it's somebody you know that's really close to you. Then you really get it. Then you're like, oh, okay, so this is serious. This is hurtful. Cancer is a mother. Right. You know?
Yeah, that's like how it was for me, because honestly, nobody in my family had cancer. Nobody had passed away from cancer, and nobody really, really close to me had passed away. Right. So it's not until it hits home base that you can fully understand what a person is going through.
Yeah, it's very hard. It honestly is very hard. So anyway, last year when we did the reunion, I felt that I didn't get the pass that maybe I should have gotten, because I was dealing with something I had never dealt with before in my life. Honestly, I hadn't. I was dealing with, you know, Gregg and I were having issues before. He actually got diagnosed with cancer, so I was dealing with that, on top of dealing with the fact that now I have a husband that even if I wanted to leave his ass, I couldn't leave his ass. Right. You know, for all the shit he has done. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I was
you would look like a horrible person.
I would look like a horrible person because of what the world thinks that, you know, you should be doing. They don't really care about what happened to me. Yeah, they are. They don't care about what happened. They just care about, okay, he's sick and you should be there. You know what I'm saying? So I was dealing with doing all of those things.
On top of going to work with
on top of working with a bunch of women who are talking to you crazy. And I felt like the reunion was unfair last year. But I pushed through, and here we are at this year. This year, when I left the reunion, I was like, no, this is unfair, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to talk about it. It's unfair.
So what happened that you feel was so unfair? Obviously, I didn't. You know.
Well, you haven't seen it yet. But one of the things I felt was unfair was that I was questioned. First of all, one of the things these girls have been out saying since the beginning is that she's in less episodes than we are in. But from the reunion...
Meaning you?
Meaning me.
Okay.
So from the reunion, you could never tell that because all the questions were directed at me. So I was thinking, I'm getting banged with questions for 2 or 3 hours now. Why, if I was in less episodes, why aren't they being questioned? You know, why don't they have all these questions directed at them? They claim to have been doing more. So why wouldn't they ask them questions? I also felt the other thing that was unfair is that they brought Snakegate to the reunion, which I think that Snakegate is something great to discuss. It happened during our show, and I think it should be discussed. But the person that was involved in it, which is Yvonne, I didn't think that it was right to have her at our reunion. And the reason I honestly felt that it was wrong to have her at our reunion is because, number one, she and I were okay. I'd never done anything to her. If I've done something to her right now, if I'd done anything to you, Yvonne, that I don't know about, it would have been great. And it's still great for you to tell me and let me know. Because the one time that I thought she had did something to me, I picked up the phone and I called her. Isn't that the rule? Isn't that the rule that people say all the time? Why you couldn't pick up the phone and call her if you thought she had did something wrong to you? So I picked up the phone and I called her. And it ended up, we talked about it and it worked it out.
And I know that you guys were friends because when I was at your house for Thanksgiving,
she was here
with her
husband. So, she was here with her husband. She's been here at another party
that I had. And that was the first time that I met her.
Yeah, she was here at a party that I had. She was here during Thanksgiving. She was here at my house. And not that we were friends. I would like to say, because I hate using that friend word, I would like to say we were getting to know each other. Right. And she was big on this thing about she wanted to be invited to things that the housewives were doing. So she has some sort of fascination with the housewives.
So what's her, is she like a friend of the show?
No, to be a friend of this show, our friends usually have contracts. Okay. And she has no contract and no pay.
So she just shows up to...
Yeah, just because she wants to be on camera really bad. And so, honestly, I gone to the production and asked them about her coming to travel with us on a trip. And I honestly told them...
That's more of a reason why she shouldn't be on a reunion.
Yeah. She should have been on a reunion.
If you are not even under contract... I
felt that they all went to bat for her, meaning the castmates who I'm not cool with went, meaning Kenya, Eva, Candy, all went and asked production to have her there at the reunion after they have had conversations with her to twist her little bit of a brain that she has to have her to go against me.
But you guys I thought everybody had moved past the snake gate. So
we did. It's right. We did. We had this final day with Yvonne at Candy's house, which was shown in the Lost Footage episode that just shown this past week. Okay. And that episode, Yvonne tells the entire group that she lied, that she told a white lie. I was there, so I know exactly what she said. She said it was a little white lie, and she asked them, y'all ain't never told a little white lie before? And all of them were like, not like that. And she was like, well, I made it all up and I told a lie. And then they asked me, Nene, what did she tell you? And I said, I ain't never looked at you and told you a lie. That's all I'm going to tell you. And the reason I felt like that is because this is the one person out of all these girls that I felt was riding with me and had my back. So why would I throw her under the bus? It wouldn't make any sense for me to throw her under the bus. Secondly, why would I throw her under a bus to all of these girls who act like they don't care for me? Ain't no reason for me to throw her under the bus to them. These are the same girls that ran her out of Canada when we went to Canada. We did a cash trip in Canada.
Was she
there? Yeah, she came to Canada. I asked the producers could she come to Canada because I told them me going to Canada, I feel like I don't have anybody.
Right.
You know, I'm going to go to Canada. Yeah, I need somebody. I'm going to Canada by myself. Right. I don't have anybody that's going to stand up for me. Yes, Marlo was going to go to Canada, but Marlo seemed to have been like, you know, she's talking to quite a few of them. I wanted somebody that was going to go to Canada with me that was going to be like, I got Nene back, period. Like me and her are cool. So I asked them, could she come? And I told them I wouldn't come if she didn't come. And then so they set it up where that she could come. But then when we got back from Canada, we all met at Candy's house. First, she met with Candy and Cynthia by herself and told them that she had lied. Then we met at Candy's house and she told everybody that she had lied. And then after that, I got ready to have my leopard ladies.
Did she say why she lied?
She just said she made up a lie just because she made up a little white lie. And so when we got to, after that was all over, Candy was pretty much like, I don't want anything to do with her. The rest of the girls are pretty much like, I don't want nothing to do with her. I had this leopard ladies brunch where everybody wears leopard. And you've been to one of those.
Yeah, we did that in Miami.
And so they told me that, the production told me when I arrived that day that she could no longer be on camera. And she was dressed and in her leopard and they held her downstairs and they wouldn't let her come upstairs. Oh, wow. And so then I got a text message from one of my executives saying that Bravo says that she can no longer be on camera. They do not want her to be on camera ever again. And so then my producers were like, Nene, you know she can't be on camera. So I had text message and emails stating that she could no longer be on camera. Obviously,
so
she knew that.
Forward.
Yeah, but listen, but she knew that too, though. But still, that does put me in an awkward situation. Because in her little bit of a brain, she could be thinking that I'm the one that's keeping her off camera.
Oh, I see.
You know, when in fact, they're keeping her off camera, not me. I went and fought them for you to be on camera. Why would I want you off camera? You know what I'm saying? And so, and then fast forward now, for them to bring her to the reunion, it's like, why are you bringing her to the reunion?
When she couldn't be on camera before.
She couldn't be on camera before to
and she's not a friend.
And she's not a legal friend to the show or any of that. And you guys told me that she could no longer film.